Yes. Okay. So punctual people are there. Your friends, some of your friends are yet to join. Somehow the joining part gives an impression of an actual face-to-face lecture, because in lecture also students sometimes in lectures where they are allowed, sometimes we are not allowed to enter after the lecture starts. So when it happens, students come one by one, gives an impression of an actual face-to-face lecture. This is also an actual lecture. This is the way it is now. Maybe this will be the norm going forward. We will only have conferences and workshops face-to-face. Otherwise, interaction will be online. It can happen. Yeah. So, yeah. So I think most of you are there. Few of you are.
Sir, I wanted to ask something about the mini project.
Uh, yeah, that will discuss
Sir,
separately.
I actually what has happened, I'll tell you. So you have sent a mail on a message on 25th, right? And I read it and I felt like it is okay. Matlab, I did not feel anything. But yesterday we were discussing, my group was discussing on the mini project, and then when we went through your message again now, we found something that we did not notice before, and the part was quiz part, right? So
Chris,
quiz is more like matlab, now we have two thoughts of this. One is quiz. Quiz is quiz, so no
oh,
clarity on
quiz,
that.
yes,
Other is
quiz,
like it
yes.
can be an end semester exam, right? So what would be the
Yeah.
weightage, exact weightage for it?
See, the projects are the main part. The quiz will be based on your projects, not based on a textbook or anything else. The quiz will be based on all of your projects. Weightage, you can say 50-50. If you have to give a weightage. The quiz is actually a part of your project only. You can say it like
Um, so sir, there will be Moodle exam or not?
Moodle. Yeah, quiz we can have on Moodle. Where else we will have quiz? Google Forms, no, Moodle will be better.
So quiz will be 30 marks, and it is just based on my project.
No, no, not just your project, all the projects. Yeah,
Uh,
that's why you have to be very attentive when others are also presenting. You have to ask questions to them when it is not clear for for their benefit and for your benefit as well.
But
Yeah.
Sir,
sir,
but there are not
yeah.
everybody is not going to give the projects, correct?
Yes, so they will have this thing, Viva, one-on-one Viva, based on the entire syllabus. The quiz, I mean, when you people are presenting, they will have to be there, even if they have not, one or two groups, I think, they have not opted for project. They have to be there and they have to understand your projects because the quiz after the presentations will be based on the projects. Additionally, you have projects. Those who have not opted for projects will have one-on-one Viva based on the entire syllabus. Yeah.
To say that 30 marks will be for the project and 30 marks will be for the quiz, which will be based on project, all the projects.
Yes. Yes.
Is it so? And those who are not opting for the mini project, they will have to go for the Viva.
Yes, they will have a Viva. And if you say, yeah, they will have the Viva. Actually, if I were I would have preferred a project that would be a team activity. Yeah, but still, I mean, some people have different preferences, and that also works. The Viva, I mean, at many other countries, complete assessment is based on one-on-one oral Viva. We do not have written exam even, and in fact, people are able to understand their uh, their gaps in understanding in that one-on-one Viva. In a written exam, you can probably uh, patch up, do some patch up work. But in oral exam, when you're actually thinking, say we discuss a problem, then we discuss what you will do in this situation. So, and you're actually thinking at that moment. So, if there is some gap in understanding it, it is yeah, they people can work on those gaps.
Sir, so for those who are not opting for the mini project, they will have a 60 marks of Viva only, right? They don't have to attempt any written examination or MCQ kind of something, right?
No, no, no. No, no, that's what I am explaining. Everybody will have the quiz. Yeah. Either you have project or you have Viva. But everybody will have the quiz. Quiz will be based on everyone's project.
Sir, got this, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if I'll be able to put it exactly the way I want it. But try and understand. There is a bit concern here. I'm not very articulate on this, but let's say everybody is presenting, right? And when they are trying to tell us about their project, and if we are not clear with what it is, right, and then finally it is you who's going to set the paper. I mean, it is what I'm trying to
That
say
is
is
the
it is
challenge.
easy to get through the
That
syllabus
is the
and
challenge. That is the challenge. I am not saying that I am spoon feeding you. There is a challenge. There are challenges only. We'll have to work around it. We'll have to find solutions. It may not be a perfect challenge. Nobody is claiming it's a perfect challenge.
so that's all right. Challenges are welcome, but what I currently say is that the challenge is something that we don't have mere control. For example, what I'll say, let's say you have put a very difficult paper for us in finance, right? Then we know what the syllabus is. We can burn midnight oil to get our concept clear and be ready for the exam. But
Yeah,
this is
it's a
something that
different kind
we
of challenge. This is the structure of your assessment. Yeah, I understand your concern. You're trying to get adjusted. Everybody is trying to get adjusted. But let us not put it as a constraint. Yeah, so this is the structure of the assessment.
Sir, actually, I don't know about others, but initially what our group thought was we either have to do a mini project or we have to give the NSEM exam. So keeping that
Yeah.
in mind, I mean, our group, me, Lalit, Sarvajit and Gladwin, we took one project for RSM that is quite long and intense. So now
Yeah.
that we have come to know that that is for 30 marks, sir, I guess that would be very, very, very difficult to cover that in such given time. So, sir, I think we would like to
So
change.
why does this weightage thing come into the picture? I mean, you will be putting in as much effort as you initially planned. So why this weightage thing? Everything is based on the
Sir,
project.
sir, I'll tell you. Please, I hope you'll understand, but and not get offended by our questions. But we have some concerns, so we are coming up to you in a very polite and humble manner. Uh, for that's what I'm trying to say. Ki if there is an exam ahead for 60 marks, we are preparing it from the day one. But somebody is suddenly coming with their project ideas and presenting the project ideas. We have to retain their complete project ideas, understand the fundamental behind it, and write it
Yes.
on the paper in a 1 week period of time.
So
Right?
what else were you planning to do? Somebody would have presented their project. Yeah, please let me finish. Somebody would have
Yeah.
presented their project and you would have just sat there without understanding what they are presenting. Was that your initial plan? That is not going to work. You'll have to understand everyone's project. If it is not clear, you have to ask.
Sir, correct. You are very
That
correct.
is also your responsibility. Your responsibility is also there that everybody else understands your project. So this is a entire wholesome group activity. So let us not try to find out some glitches which will be there in every system. So this
Sir,
is
no,
the
no,
structure of the
sir, no
assessment.
glitches here. And sir, no, we are not
Yeah,
seeing the
let's
glitches
not
here.
try to see there are hurdles race, right? So let us not try to get comments on the hurdles or how polished those hurdles are, how high those hurdles are, what brand steel is used to make those hurdles. So yeah, so this is the structure of the assessment. It is very clear. All the points are very clear, and nothing changes. See, initially
Yes,
probably you were not planning to pay attention to others' projects, but that is not the purpose. That is definitely not the purpose of this entire course. that you simply do your own project and do not understand what others are presenting. Yeah.
Sir, and how is it going to be for the operation research?
Operations research, yes, Thursday, one group already presented the cases. So Thursday, let all of other groups will be presenting, and the faculty, Dr. Manatkar, has sent the assessment for that one group already. He will be assessing the other groups also, and we will have that assessment. Then T1, T2 is there, and then let us wait for some time, maybe May first week. If NPTEL declares a comfortable date for our assessment purposes, NPTEL will declare a date, but that date could be even July. But we can't wait till July. Then we will have we will have to have a test so that all of you move on to the next semester.
So we have we have 3 cases remaining, and the groups are more. So if each
Yes.
one we have decided right now, so there's a confusion there also amongst us that who will take what, and if the evaluation is there on the cases, then it will be repeated. And if it is going to be an exam, like if you said NPTEL conducts it in July, then we will take up our own exam, right? Then this
That is there.
cases
That
won't be evaluated.
all of you are going to be there. Yes. If the date is too late, if the date declared by NPTEL is too late, then we will have an internal exam, that Moodle one, which you call it. So, so अगर बहुत देर का date declare होता है, then we will have to have a Moodle exam so that all of you graduate to the next semester with a complete assessment. Then for certificate, definitely we will be appearing for the NPTEL exam.
Sir, then what will be the weightage for this presentation, the case study presentation, and what will be the weightage
Oh,
for the end?
Array, weightage. Yeah. So, okay, weightage is important. Yes, so T1, T2, and this presentation will have equal weightage, all three. And the Moodle exam, when it is conducted, Moodle or NPTEL exam, when it is conducted, that will have the usual 60 weightage. Yeah. So so roughly 15, 15, 15, T1, T2, and this presentation. And the remaining, that is 55, will be Moodle exam or NPTEL. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Got that, sir. I guess the conversation got drifted to a different direction. But what I was trying to say is, sir, we initially thought it was 60 marks. So our group, Lalit, me, Sarvajit, and Gladwin, we chose a topic which justifies 60 marks. So we chose a
Yes.
topic which is big enough. And
How
all. But
do you,
now,
it's not based on marks. I mean, your efforts are not, that's a convention. Marks are just a convention. We could have 120 marks. How does it matter? Or 30 marks. How does it? So, so your effort will be there, and the quality of your effort will not be different. See, in group, you are producing something. You're producing graphic designing outputs. You're conducting this entire event. All of you, I mean, a team, a dedicated team, as a dedicated team, you're conducting. Every day, we are getting such nice Finlit letters. What is the weightage of all those things? Have you thought of weightage for these things? You feel like doing it and you're doing it, and the output quality, all of you know how good it is. So how that weightage thing is, it can be I mean, a convention, but it's not that important in learning. The learning part is not affected by how much weightage, yeah, or how much marks a question carries. If it carries 10 marks, probably, yeah, if it is an essay type question, you will write a little bit more. But otherwise, the concept you will explain in the same way as much as it is clear to you. Yes. Yeah. So that is there. Uh, let's try this out. Yeah.
Sir, but marks matters.
Yeah, it actually doesn't. Even the degree in this course, the degree is a stepping stone, is a milestone. Ultimately, the outcome will be your projects, which can be taken up as startups later on. Yeah, so it's an entrepreneurship focused project. Yeah. Yes, so different people are in different situation, but the option of entrepreneurship, there is no reason we should not look at that option. Yeah. So yes. Okay.
So we also had one request, like for
Uh,
operations, like you had mentioned in your mail that we may present. So everyone had read, but not really. They were prepared with the PPTs and all. So it was a rush, and we understand that we will face such issues in future also, and we have to be ready. Sometimes it won't be even 2 hours. But when it comes to, like Lalit said, marks matters because we have been from first standard to I'll say degree. We have been in that environment. Everyone thinks that if it is end sem, then obviously more preparation and more seriousness is required rather than just reading and saying.
yeah.
So there was some rush that day. So some planning we wanted for all the subjects. Even for other subjects also, we are requesting all the
Yeah, plan
lecturers
to
to.
get the concepts clear, not how much you are going to score in the exam. Plan to get the concepts clear. How much weightage which exam has doesn't shouldn't really matter. Shouldn't if you plan everything and at the end of your preparation the concept is not clear, then what's the point? Yeah. Plan to clarify the concept with group study, with exchange of ideas. Yeah, a little bit what we are already doing during sessions. Yeah. Then you have your study group, either your mini projects group or your uh, live cases group can be your study group also. I don't know for how many groups they are different, but either of them can be your study group, which is very, very important. You can actually distribute topics amongst yourselves. कि भाई आप ये पढ़ो मैं ये पढ़ता हूँ फिर कल हम दोनों एक दूसरे को समझाएंगे. So those things are required. Otherwise, if you take everything on your shoulders, तो वो कहते हैं ना सारे पृथ्वी का बोझ कोई कोई देख के लगता है कि सारे पृथ्वी का बोझ वो खुद ही उठा रहे हैं. So let's not be that. Yeah, it's not a good idea. It's not a good strategy. Yeah. So does it clarify what you were asking, or I took it somewhere to some other direction?
Yes, sir, it does. But just that we are asking other professors also that we know in like ahead of time what we are going to face, then it will be
Yeah.
more productive from our end. That's what we feel as a class. So just
Yes.
wanted to convey that.
Yes, yes, that is required. That's why I also started these uh, putting these instructions in writing long back. So yes, that is required. And anytime you have doubts, you should clarify like this. Yeah.
Sir, also we want to know like what will be the topics for the upcoming exams because what we failed through T1 and T2, the level we like had in our class and the level we got in exam was a little hard. So like many of us, we were not able to track those type of questions. So sir, we need more practice to tackle those type of questions. So, sir, can you provide us some set of questionnaires or
Yes.
something? Yeah, because because sir, see, in the we are not just we all are not just focusing on marks, but yes, somewhere is matters, and sir, it's getting reflected in our scores. So the concern is it will
Yes.
be better if we get those the level if we get that kind of level to practice, so it will be beneficial for all of us.
Yes, that is true. I mean, yeah, in a little bit unfamiliar language, if you see what you already know, you may think that the level is different. And yes, that may be true. And most of the times, the level of the exam will be slightly higher than what we study. So if we study, okay, probably not the right way to put it, but if we put if we devote time in tougher problems, then the exam will be slightly tougher than what we already discussed in class. Yeah, so the focus is to
Sir,
clarify
but
concepts.
the questions we were asked in T1 and T2, we were not aware about what approaches we should have to solve this kind of problems.
अरे वो
Like
aware कुछ होना ही
if
नहीं
they
था,
would have,
just
sir, if they would
attending
have been,
classes.
sir, if they
Yeah.
would have been practiced in the class itself, we would be able to tackle those kind of questions.
Practice what we did in the class, and the videos and PPTs which you have access to. There is, I mean, preparation, yes. Yeah, preparation helps, but these are not repeated questions. I mean, you won't find these questions in any textbook. So till the last day, I formulated those questions based on what we had discussed. They were formulated in a way that the person will take some time to crack the logic. Yeah, they were not calculation intensive as such, but to reach to the logic, the person has to think, because these are this structure is objective test. Yeah, so we cannot have only fill in the blanks and such obvious questions. So the questions have to be a little tricky, which activates your thinking. So that's why those sort of questions were there. Not every question was difficult, although there were sort of bonus questions also, which could be very easily cracked. And
So, but
some
it will be better if we have some questionnaire kind of thing, and you know,
question bank.
so that we can practice those things, so that we will be able to tackle the questions in the exam.
Yes, yes, yes. Not exam where you'll be able to apply it somewhere when you when you start applying. Yes, with that we will have of course we will have. See, today T2 questions we discussed for finance. Then we will have questions from Prasanna Chandra book, which we will discuss in the next session. Today's session, I'm not sure if I'm visible, so yeah, if I do like this, check. No, it doesn't
Yes,
affect.
sir, you're audible.
Full screen करने से क्या होगा? Full screen view. Okay, nothing. Yeah, so this book, from this book, Cooper and Schindler, Business Research Methods, we will be practicing some questions. Yeah. So this will be questions from the book, and then T1, T2 questions. T2 questions, a couple of them, we will discuss right now after we have this discussion.
Sir,
And
I just had one more doubt regarding the RMSM or the mini projects that we have submitted to you. Is there any way we can reassess those because now the quiz and everything is coming up?
yes. Please, if
We
you want
can we
to,
reassess the
yeah,
topics and the things that we had already told you? Can we make a change or some modifications to it, what we feel
yes.
accordingly?
Yeah, yes. So reassess
Because in this,
if that
at
is required.
starting, according to the first mail, what we thought what we will only have the projects. We didn't think that there'll be quiz
Okay,
or there'll be
it
other
shouldn't
exams
matter, but
in it.
if you want to reassess, please
Sir,
go ahead, reassess.
why it matters is because our project had some machine learning concepts as well. So machine learning is
Hmm.
something which is completely different. So if RMSM
Hmm.
questions, if other students are going to get asked about machine learning and if they have no idea, so it might be unfair to others as well. And
But
similar
your
concepts which
presentation,
are,
yeah, your
yes, yes.
presentation will be explaining that, and this what
Yes,
the
sir, we will
structure
be
will
explaining
be.
that, but it is very difficult because
See,
most of them are from mechanical engineering or they are not as much acquainted with machine learning concepts. There might be some people. So I completely agree that
yeah,
we need to always learn because this industry is moving towards data. and moving towards all these machine learning IoT concepts. But it is very difficult to just learn machine learning in a day or two and then attempt for a quiz for it. So that is why I feel, can we just reassess our concepts? Can we just reassess the
Uh,
deliverables that we were supposed to give and give you a new set?
you can reassess, and the other option is, uh, initially at one point of time, we also discussed that when one group is presenting, other groups will give questions regarding what this group's project clarifies, what questions this group's project answers. So that will be based on what? That will be based on how much the other groups have understood. So there
Correct.
is a balance which will be created. Yeah, so we need not, if nobody is able to understand what machine learning is,
Yes,
they
sir.
won't be
Exactly. That is
bringing up those
something that I
questions. They
was.
won't be giving those questions. Yeah.
Yes, sir. They
So
won't
in
be
a
giving,
way, the
but
question
that questions
question
might be asked to
sets,
them. So
yes,
it
the
will be
question
difficult.
sets are actually formulated by all of you. When group X is presenting, the questions to be asked based on project X's X group's project will be formulated by other groups. Yeah, and those questions only you will be tackling in your quiz or whatever you want to call it. So that way we will keep a balance on that everybody is, nobody is at a disadvantage. So what
Uh,
others have understood, based on that only the questions will be formulated. So that's why questions from other groups are invited. Yeah. So say Sarvajit's group is presenting, then Shubham, Ajinkya, Ojas, and other groups will be formulating questions based on the project. Yeah. What
so
that
we did
what
not,
that project explains. Yes.
so we did not opt for research earlier. Can we opt for project now?
Yes. 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 Projects
Sir,
are
sir,
yes
we too
always
will
preferred.
reassess all the things and we'll get back to you in some days, 2 to 3 days
Yes.
at least.
Yes. Yes.
Because
Please reassess.
some,
Please.
yes, sir,
Yeah.
so because of some new advancements, so even we were just thinking out how to go about it. We'll let you know, sir.
Yeah. Keeping everything in mind and keeping the spirit at the center,
Sure,
essence
sir.
of what we are doing at the center. Yeah, yes, you'll do good work. I'm sure. All of you, all projects, all groups will do group work, going step by step, and such clarifications are required, definitely required. Yeah. So it's good that we had this discussion now.
Sir,
Yeah.
I have one doubt.
Huh.
Sir, for
So,
operations, there are
Karthik.
only 4 case studies, and the
Yes.
groups are maybe 6 or 7.
Yeah.
So, how the other groups gonna present the case study? Should they repeat the same?
Repeat the sense in the sense
Actually,
you
the
you
manager
will
sir have shared only 4 case studies as of now.
for case study, yes, but the idea is, even if it were only one case study, the idea of a case is discussing what options the main character has. Yeah.
Okay.
So that option can be different, suggested by your group. That option can be different. A different option can be suggested by a different group. Yeah, and you will have the logic underlying those selections as completely different or more or less different. Yeah, so that can be managed. And if you're selecting the same group, I think somewhere in bit. Oh no no, yeah, that's why we had this. Many projects outline discussion so that nobody repeats each other's projects. So you can have a small discussion amongst yourselves that see, we are selecting the same case, but I'll take this approach, and what approach you will be taking. Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
One
So,
doubt I have.
Yeah.
Sharmishta, you can
Karthik
please.
here. हाँ Karthik. Yes, Sharmishta Karthik here. हाँ बोलो
Sir,
पहले आप
actually, approach.
हाँ
Actually, sir, you say that one case study can be distributed by 2 groups in 2 ways.
हाँ
That can be.
Yes.
So one case study has been discussed, the Apple one by the Sarojit and his group.
Yeah.
So other groups can take it in another way with different
Yes.
approach
Yes.
through the same
Yes.
case study. Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
So what we
Different
can do
way,
is
different argument.
what we can do is we can distribute the questions.
You can, what about the questions?
Sir, there are 4 questions at the end of each case. So we can distribute the questions.
Yes. That also you can do. Some cases may not have questions, but if there are questions, you can distribute. Yeah.
So one thing I wanted to ask, was there negative marking for our T2?
No. You might have seen some in that output of Moodle. No,
Yes,
that's a
sir.
default. That's a default record. Nobody. I don't think any other faculty also opted for negative marking. Negative marking was not there in any subject. Yeah. So that option only we had not selected. Negative marking there or not. But by default, some value is shown in the output that if negative marking is selected, then every negative attempt will give, say, I think 0.3 as negative mark. Yeah. But that option itself was not selected. ओके सो पहले तो ये बुक से इतने बड़े बुक से हाउ मच यू हैव टू स्टडी आई विल टेल यू सो दिस
Sir,
इज
do you
इन
mind sharing the edition of this book? Which edition is this?
edition 12th edition.
Okay.
Yeah, so 12th edition.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, can you arrange the soft copy of this book, because we don't have access to the library, so we don't have the books
I
now.
think one of you had forwarded somewhere in between. As all of you are here, can somebody confirm? I think one of you have this soft copy of this particular book, Cooper and Schindler.
So it was for market research techniques. Sheldon Cooper.
Acha. Okay. Then I think I have a soft copy of this book. I'll have to check.
So
Ah,
that when we are studying, we will be on the same page, you and us,
yes.
right?
Yeah.
It will be better.
Yes. Yeah. Studying, when you're revising, so to say, studying we will finish in the next couple of days. When you're revising, we can refer to the same page and you can approach with doubts and other things. So in this book, we will be studying basically 3 chapters. If you're interested in studying books, referring to books, 3 chapters from this whole big, thick book you can refer to. First is chapter 6, which is research design. Then second is chapter 17. Shall I write in chat or the recording will be enough? Okay,
So can we
first I'll
have the
read out
discussion
chapter.
when we have the book, like the soft copy? Because right now we'll be just writing and we don't have the book right now on our screen.
That makes sense.
Right.
That makes sense. Okay, I'll have to actually check if where is the book? Cooper book. Book. Okay, research methods, teaching resources. Teaching resources में होगा. Okay. Yeah, I have some books which may be on the other computer, if not on email. I will check. Yeah. Yeah. I think some institutes had arranged, so that's how we had got it. So no issues. I'll try to see this. Finance Prasanna Chandra soft copy will be difficult to arrange. but this and operation soft copy, I'll try. There are chances, around say 75% chances. So yeah. So basically, I'll quickly read out the names at least so that it is familiar later on. So chapter 17, hypothesis testing. Chapter 18, measures of association. Measures of association. Okay, tongue twister kind of. And the chapter 19, which is multivariate analysis. Multivariate analysis is what we will expand in the next semester. Majority of what we will discuss in the next semester will be based on this single chapter. Yeah, coincidentally, majority of it, say 80% of it, will be expansion of multivariate analysis. What is the maths behind it? How to understand the output? When to use it? So multivariate analysis plus some experiments and other such some qualitative techniques. So yeah, discourse analysis plus majority will be this multivariate techniques. So this is what we can discuss, and from this book we can have, yes,
Sir, so whatever we have learned in the class, that constitutes the syllabus for the first semester, right? That's all.
yes.
Okay.
What all you have learned? Shall I repeat? Because a couple of days back only I was also
Okay.
listing.
Sure, sir. That would be great.
So yeah, so I can give you in written also. Basically, let us see if we agree on these things. We have discussed central tendency, concept of central tendency. Yeah, when to use mean, when median is better, when mode is better, those things. Calculation of those things. Then variation. Variation is standard deviation, range. Yeah, the box plot also comes under variation. Then correlation, how to actually calculate correlation. And we now know how important correlation is. Yeah. Then linear algebra concepts, which we discussed based on uh, the coordinate geometry view. Yeah, so those graphs, those visualizations of linear algebra, basically matrix multiplication, and yeah, how it changes the vector. So that is there. Then in probability, normal distribution and binomial distribution extensively, more or less extensively, we have studied. Then we have studied regression, yeah, which uses correlation, concept of correlation. Then there is factor analysis. Yeah, fairly a detailed treatment of factor analysis. Then actually before that only we discussed hypothesis testing. Yeah, that we discussed. A little bit of different ways, comparing means and comparing variation. When we compare means, we use Z values. When we compare variations, we calculate a ratio, which is called F ratio. Then we use F values. Yeah. So these things we have covered. This actually becomes a basis of a uh, very good research methods treatment
Sir,
application later on.
sir, so for the quiz, sir, so it would be purely based on the projects done by the whole batch, or it would be part project questions and partly this concepts.
But project. So yeah. So in projects only you will be covering some of these concepts. So it will be based on the projects. In
Okay.
a very ideal situation, combining all the projects, you would have covered these concepts in simpler ways. Yeah. But the test will be based on projects. What you are able to apply and explain to others, based on that only, the test will be done or quiz will be done, or yeah, or the
So,
ending part of your project will be done.
yes. So these were the
Yeah.
topics for RMSM. So can you brief us about finance as well? Like the
फाइनेंस में कोई confusion है? For the statements as much as required to prepare balance sheet and profit and loss account. Then we calculated ratios, financial ratios. Then cash flow statement. तो वो तो सीधा फ्लो में ही गया है वो
Yes,
ओके
yes,
इफ
sir.
यू वांट
That is
समथिंग
clear.
इन
That is
रिटन
clear.
I'll
No,
yeah
sir. That is clear. Like
yeah
we had financial ratios and accounting statements and all that. But if the projects that we are trying to do, some like our project, I don't think so. We are using financial ratios anywhere. So,
okay
uh, so now the quiz that is going to be a part of it, will it contain those
yeah
financial? The only thing that I'm trying to ask is, how is it going to be then if something of the syllabus is not covered in our projects? So it might be used
See,
in some projects,
what
it
we
might
have
not
to
be
do
used.
is we have to understand others' projects also. If it is not clear, we
Correct,
have to
correct.
ask questions. If some more time is required, that will be arranged. See, suppose somebody presented a very complicated project, nobody is able to understand. It can happen. It may be good project also. So we will devote extra time to it again so that others are able to understand. That doesn't mean that you unnecessarily simplify what you were earlier planning to do, but this time will be devoted, will be given. So there is no need to be scared that कोई थोड़ा सा आके 15 मिनट बोल देगा उसके बेसिस पे हम क्या एग्जाम देंगे. Don't think like that. Yeah. So it is the responsibility of that group and the system we are putting in by this entire arrangement that everybody should understand each other's project. And if more time is required, we will allot more time. Yeah.
Okay, so sir, irrespective of the syllabus, everything will be revolving around that project.
Projects, yes, yes. Yeah, there will be commonalities between projects and syllabus. Yeah.
Sir, can we do this projects little before the quiz, like 1 week or
Of course.
2 weeks? No, you'll have to set the deadline. Otherwise, people will keep on pushing it, and then एक हफ्ते में वो prepare नहीं होगा. If you are able to
Uh,
understand me.
okay, then uh, see, I'll be coming back. 28th May 28th May से हम प्रोजेक्ट प्रेजेंटेशन शुरू कर देंगे. I may not be there in between from 15th May to 28th May 8. I may not be there. As soon as I am back, we will start with the presentation.
Okay, so
And what
we
would
can
be the
expect the
exam
exam
date?
to be in 7th of June or around 8th of June, somewhere in that time.
Yeah, around that. It could be 4th, 5th of June also. Yeah, around that.
And two
Okay,
It
papers in
won't
a
be in
day,
May.
sir.
One thing is sure that your end term exams won't be in May unless some particular faculty plans it. Uh,
okay,
the
okay.
model
So
exam
sir,
won't be in May.
what we are trying to say
Won't
is
be in June. Sorry,
it will be great if we can get at
won't be
least
in May.
around 8 to
Yeah,
10 days.
yes, yes. 8 to 10 days you will have. 8 to 10 days you will have. Yes. Even to ask questions outside the presentation time. कि ये आपने बताया था आपके ग्रुप ने ये कॉन्सेप्ट मेरे ग्रुप को तो क्लियर नहीं हुआ ये आप फिर से एंड वी कैन हैव एन नंबर ऑफ सेशंस सो ओनली एक्सेल यू विल हैव इन मे that will also be done by that time so we can have entire yeah 18 hours we can devote to discussions if you want to stay
And sir,
for
one more thing. Do you have any idea on like two papers in a single day or one paper 1 day? How is it like for the end semester?
I won't be able to tell yeah, it can be maximum of 2 papers that we can say, but yeah, the dates have not been finalized. So yeah, so how many actually subjects you have? T2 you had for 6 subjects, right?
Yes, sir. We had two subjects
Yes,
for
sir.
in one day.
Yeah, T2 you had 2 subjects. T1 also you had 2 subjects in one day. Yeah, so it can happen. 2 subjects in a day can happen. And yeah, ये तो पूरा डिस्कशन ही हो गया ओके इट्स नॉट बैड I mean many things also got clarified
Yes,
from
sir, it was
your
very
angle I
necessary
could
for us
see
too.
Yes, I could see your points of view. I could think from your angle now. Yeah. So thank you for all the questions. Yeah. Yes. So these were positive questions. They led to crossing of hurdles, clarification. So I'll call them positive questions. Yeah. Okay, then yeah, lunch करो अभी हजम करो ये discussion. Yeah. So okay. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Definitely. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye bye. Tomorrow we'll meet again.